Today I'm going to be going through Instagram setup, or at least part one of Instagram setup. So we have this new website. It's called hippohype.com. Basically, we're specializing in orthodontist and dental websites. And so we made this brand to kind of highlight what we do with this industry. But we also need to set up our Instagram. So we want it to look good. So right now, here's our Instagram. There's nothing on it. So we need to fill it up. I always tell people to get started, you want to have at least 9 posts. So you fill up the home page of people's mobile feed on Instagram, which means that you need at least 9 posts in addition to your profile picture, which I'll talk about in a different video. So what we do is for our clients and our own brands is we actually set up a blog, and then we try to create content that we could turn into social media posts, or specifically Instagram posts in this case. So here you have why improve your ortho website design. Reason number 1, it takes about 0.05 seconds for users to form an opinion about your website. That's fast. This is actually a leopard, not a cheetah, but they're fast too, so whatever. Anyways, so we created this using Photoshop, and then we created these other 7 or 6 pages. These are just kind of placeholders for right now, but here we have our kind of quote. And I'm going to talk about content, what content you could do, but basically we want to make sure that this brand looks significant, so we're going to have at least these 9 posts. So let's go ahead and make a post for this stat. 57% of internet users say they won't recommend a business with a poorly designed website on mobile. So let's go ahead and grab this stat, and now I'm going to go ahead and open up this template that I created for making these types of posts. So if I go in here, I paste it. There you go. Now this is all kind of highlighting how we design social media. We don't just create stats and plop into Canva.com, which you can use, and it's great. It's better than nothing. But a lot of times people use random fonts, and it is offensive to the principle of consistency that I always talk about with my clients. So we make these for you, and then I always recommend that you get Photoshop, because if you're going to get serious about online presence, you're going to need it. Anyways, so if you're a client, you get a batch of these, and you could change them however you want. But let's go ahead and make this one. So I have my template. The design elements that you see are the stat, interesting picture, and then you have our new logo on the bottom right. So let's go ahead and fix this. I already input the content. 57% of internet users say they won't recommend a business with a poorly designed website on mobile. So this is saying mobile. In terms of the design theme, Hippo Hype is all about jungle and animals and stuff like that. So I could do one of 2 things. I could go mobile, which is somebody holding a phone, which is kind of obvious and boring. Or I could do mobile, like what's a mobile animal, which to me would be a bird, right? So let's go ahead and grab a bird image and input it into this graphic that we created. There's 2 websites I always use for free images, unsplash.com or pexels.com. I recommend both. I'm going to go ahead and try Unsplash, and I'm just going to say jungle bird. All right, so you can see a bunch of birds here. Now, in terms of your branding design, the aspects that you see here are a green and white gradient in the background. I actually took out the background of this image with the leopard, and then I just kind of plopped it on that background so it's all consistent. So I probably want to maintain these aspects. The design aspects I'm talking about are an animal, the cutout, and then also this kind of green gradient that has a light background to highlight the actual text. It's also right bottom aligned, so keep that in mind as well as you're selecting pictures. So if I want to look at a bird, I'm thinking a bird in the sky. So, all these have a lot of dark backgrounds. So instead of dark backgrounds, I want light. So I'm going to say jungle bird sky. We'll see if we can find something there. Okay, I kind of like this parrot, blue parrot. I could definitely work with that. This one's not bad. Still a lot of foliage going on in the background. More birds. So I probably should have had an image teed up, but this is actually pretty consistent with the process. Looking at a bunch of crap until you actually find what you want. Now, I always tell people when you're picking images, pick the one that you would actually stop on. I wouldn't stop on any of these images, which is why I keep going. Let's get rid of the word jungle. There we go. Bird in the sky. All right, so there's nothing that interesting, but there are images that fit the kind of design aesthetic that we've been talking about. So I'm just going to grab one of these. I saw that one at the top, this top right. That's kind of cool. Has a lot of empty space, which is good for our content. Those do look like pigeons, though, but maybe they're hawks. All right. It doesn't even have a description. So let's go and copy this. I'm going to copy the image. I'm going to go back to my canvas. I'm going to click on the bottom so I could cover up the existing image. Paste. Okay. I'm going to resize this, keeping my aspect ratio so it doesn't look all squished. Right there. Okay. Yeah, looking kind of cool. All right. Okay, so I'm going to have to invert. Now, I could just get rid of this whole background, keep that green gradient, but I actually don't mind the blue gradient. I think it complements the green of the design. So I'm going to go ahead and just invert the color of my elements. So in this case, I'm going to get rid of my white color overlay. So you have Hippo Hype there. And then to make it stand out just a little bit more, I'm actually going to do an outer glow. And again, this is kind of technical, but you know, learn Photoshop. You won't have to hire a bunch of people if you do that. There we go. All right, so you got Hippo Hype in the corner. That's standing out nice. Okay. And then to make this stand out in the top left, I'm going to invert this to white as well. So I'm just going to click on text, change my text color to white, and there you go. Now, this actually looks good. I could post this. Won't look bad. However, if you look at the design aesthetic, again, talking about consistency, we go back to the website, we look at the original. Okay, I highlighted two things. I did that's fast, which is the message, your website needs to be fast, and 0.05 seconds, which kind of says, oh, what's 0.05 seconds? Makes you want to read the rest of it. So if I go back, I want to do the same thing here. So 57% of internet users say they won't recommend a business with a poorly designed website on mobile. So I'm going to go ahead and instead of hairline, I'm going to use regular. And so that's going to make it a little bit bigger. And I'm going to say, I'm just going to highlight this, 57%. So that's what we're trying to say. You need a better designed mobile platform. There you go. And you can mess with that. I think I like it how it was originally. Okay, there you go. All right, so that's it. Now we have a optimized image that reinforces our brand, gives some useful information for the user, and now I have my first of many posts on Instagram. So my next one, I know this one was kind of complicated. Let me go ahead and render this. To render this properly, you want to optimize it for both the website and social media. We're going to go File, Export, Save for Web. And 60 quality, this is all big, 136 kilobytes, but that's not that bad. 1080 by 1080, that's your optimal dimensions for Instagram. We're going to go and save this. I'm going to go on clients. I got my zillion active clients. Hippo Hype, there you go. And so you can see what goes into all of our projects really. And Hippo Hype fast. Let's do Hippo Hype mobile stat 1. There you go. Okay, so now I have my image. So in the next video, I'm going to go ahead and take this image and I'm going to post it onto Instagram using proper hashtags and messaging to reinforce the brand.